Alright, so last week we left off, you guys had acquired your guide, and you were getting ready to head out the next morning after you acquire the gear you feel is appropriate for your travels. So, you were heading off to the market in search of your goods. And Cookie, I believe you were going to lead the charge on that?
Yes.
Okay. Looks like Rio was wanting to look for some trendy clothes. Um, Rio, what you would consider trendy does not exist. It's very basic, plain, very functional out clothing. Nothing you would consider trendy or fashionable. Cookie, do you want to investigate?
Yeah. I look around and I say, are there any shops that sell gear? Um, I was told that I could tell them that I'm going on a expedition with Thork.
The name. Thork was the name indeed of the individual, you were told. And what was it that Thork told you to acquire? Anything particular?
Um, he told us to tell them that we were going on an expedition with Thork and they would outfit us appropriately. So we don't even know what we're looking for, really.
Okay. So you get there, you see there's a few people. With that, you don't pinpoint anyone who's seems too excellent at it, but you are able to locate someone who says they know the kind of stuff Thork usually equips his people with, and they can help you. And ask how many you need.
That is a great question.
uh,
4 would cover us,
Four?
but I don't. Well, there are 5 people in chat
Oh,
who isn't here.
looks like there's six. Or
Well, there's
Cookie, as commander of the group, who have you chosen to exterminate?
All right, guys.
what do you mean none of these
Out of
none of
context.
these clothing, have wings in them, or can accommodate my wing?
Not by default, but they could be modified to do so.
Frank's a goldfish or two. Slit.
Why? Can I seriously not add today? I cannot add today.
1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8.
Since we still haven't heard back anything from Steven, are we completely? We're gonna assume just the party of us because it's 5.
I would assume so, unless someone has heard anything else. I haven't heard anything from him.
All right, we'll just assume that it's us, and we say we're looking for 5 outfitted.
Okay, so you guys are looking for 5 outfits?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can locate pricing. Give me just a moment.
I suppose it would be a good idea to Not that I expect to live, but
Give me a moment here, it's loading.
Yeah, Kitty Rock was just a little bit out there, wasn't it, John?
I don't know all the details. I've just heard some legends of it.
What kind of a little
Okay.
Paladin's mount? First shot.
So the current going rate for the pack of goods, it includes some, water and food and a outfit to survive in the lovely weather, is 12 gold apiece.
Okay.
And if you want to have the upgraded to be able to have better water retention and comes with a little bit extra water, is 16.
We'll do that. We'll do the 16.
What was that for, Cleoc?
it
You
was-
rolled a... Okay. Sorry about the delay. It took a little bit for it to load.
good thing I didn't say that's the number of packs I go through before I finally perform good enough surgery to fit my wings.
Is that what it was?
Absolutely not. That would be a skill roll with a D20. Like
It
so.
would be.
Don't
And
worry.
that would involve a
Shopkeepers will let
botch.
you throw in tailoring kits for free.
Sweet.
So if you want to acquire of them to do so, Cleoc, you could do a diplomacy roll, which would be persuasion.
And someone else might need to do that too.
Yes. Yes.
Only if they need to be able to fly. I mean, there's only one person who has wings permanently.
Alright,
There-
I will make a persuasion check. My persuasion. It is a whopping.
Let me see. Mine.
this is going to be good.
See if I can pull mine.
14.
Yeah,
The
sure.
Aasimar wouldn't need it that badly, would they?
Aasimar is optional because they just can't go in. If they're the subtype that has the angelic form, they can't go into the angelic form with wings without it. However, they usually don't have wings by default, so no, they wouldn't have to.
Alright, let's
Cleoc is the exception because he can't not have wings.
Other than
We have-
cutting them off, which would make you, which if you attempt to, you're going to get a spear in your gut.
Exactly. So Cleoc, you're able to work it out and wind up able to talk him into assisting you and getting it done right.
And it's
persuasion.
persuasion. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can roll.
When you're primary stats, you should be pretty good at it.
Roll an extra d6. You feel inspired.
So 17.
It's a good thing Cookie gave you some tips on how to talk to the shopkeeper. He's able to do so for you as well, after some persuading.
I was actually kind of disappointed I didn't roll a 1 there. To have it end up a 0.
Worthless bird, you can cut your wings off, you don't need them anyways.
And with that int score, you might just believe them.
Hey, I have average intelligence.
Poor bird.
Alright, so you guys have acquired some equipment as soon as you pay the shopkeeper Cookie, and you're all ready to
Is there an
continue on.
additional charge for the custom fit?
Due to your bulk order and you being so nice, he decided he would do so for free.
Sweet.
You don't ask these questions.
Yanovan, I know. Alright. We head back to the inn. Unless you guys want to explore town for anything. Not a whole lot to explore, I imagine.
It's probably not.
I'm a bit curious about why the priestess. I'm gonna go
Vanished.
drop in on her again.
So-
The completely empty church?
Yes.
Sure.
Cleoc returns to the church building, and it's vacant, and you have a few people walk by looking at you strangely. And you hear one kid say, "Mommy, why's the weird bird thing looking at the building that no one goes to?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is vacant? Sorry, I could have sworn that someone was in here.
They move away even quicker.
It'd be awfully silly to leave a vacant building here. I should do something with it. Bet they sell it for cheap. Huh? Could open up a restaurant or something.
Good luck.
Yeah, they probably think it's cursed.
Probably.
I'm not going in for that.
No, they don't think it's cursed. But we did lose Yonovan.
We lost Yanovan? What?
Yeah, he disconnected.
Oh,
Oh.
shoot.
He died. He fell in the same trapdoor as the priest did. Priestess.
Oh, great.
It's been nagging me, so I want to go ahead and do a quick investigation of the place to make sure that there's no like trapdoors or hidden.
Okay, roll an investigation.
I'm really good at that too because, as
I know.
pointed out earlier, my intelligence is awesome.
Everything is awesome. No, I'm just kidding.
Congratulations, you find no trapdoors or anything of the like.
Then I go ahead and go back to wherever we decided to stay. I guess the tavern thing. I go and find Cookie because we haven't found out where we're actually staying today.
That's true too.
How many buildings does the town have that we could see? Is it just a couple, or is it just?
No, there's a lot of towns.
No, okay. I get the feeling that people don't show up here very often, though.
Yeah, I get that feeling too.
We're in the middle of a desert sandstorm. People probably don't get out much. Even live here. Like, why do even people live here? They're
Using
all
your trash?
probably part of the cult.
Hey,
You gonna start asking him?
No,
No.
they
very
lived here
much not.
before it turned nasty. Remember, it wasn't always nasty.
Inside
not like-
check.
No, I mean, they told us
Okay.
that. That was the statement they made. We
Yes.
didn't try to disbelieve their statement, so.
Yes, that's true.
And so, if you believe that statement, then you know that they probably couldn't afford to leave. And it's the entire planet now, so.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I need to come up with an accent for my character just so you know when I'm actually speaking out of character, but I try and be more. I don't know.
Hi, say, we gotta shoot them all to kill. We come in peace, shoot to kill.
I go and kill Donovan in his sleep.
What the hell? No, no, no.
Where are you sleeping is the first question.
I don't care.
Where's he sleeping?
I'm not sleeping, and he is. So.
When and where is he sleeping?
Here, let me do another investigation check.
He's currently not sleeping. You guys have not located a place to take your rest.
Hey, you just trying to kill him.
guys, that's the next step after we went shopping. Like I asked you guys, we could go back to the inn, or we could investigate the town, and I didn't get an answer.
That's because we heard that Donovan.
Didn't? Okay. I'm gonna say let's go get a place at least reserved for the evening, and then you all can decide what you want to do. But I want to crash.
Preferably without somebody who tries to kill us.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, my internet blipped there.
That's fine.
I would hope you know, Catter, that I was very, very much joking. I do not intend to kill Donovan in his sleep.
Hopefully not.
Yet.
We'll see.
It would make it would be really out of character for my dude to do so.
But we don't know that.
That's true.
Just a second. I'm gonna see if I know that. We'll roll
He's gonna start sleeping with one eye open.
No.
Rio points to an inn that she's able to locate. They have silver piece and 1 silver piece or 7 copper piece rooms. One even has indoor toilet that is a hole in the floor.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I would say, well, what's...
Well,
yeah.
with those really nice prices, we're gonna go for the silver piece rooms. Honestly.
They have the hole in the floor for you to, be able to go to the bathroom without leaving the room.
Nice.
Or you could investigate and see if you can find other inns in town.
I'm gonna keep looking. Honestly. There just might be another place in town. My investigation's not great, but my nose has smelled better places.
Rio, are you going to stay at that inn that you found? Or are you going to try to stick with Cookie?
I'm probably stupid.
Cookie, you find one that has 3 rooms for 7 coppers apiece.
Anyone else?
I'm
And
gonna
each
go
one
back-
currently has a bunkmate that you guys could potentially share the rooms with.
I'm going back to the tavern and I'm going to ask the barkeep if he knows a good inn
Okay.
or what
So-
inn he would recommend.
They might even have.
Which means are you wanting to speak with him? You could potentially do persuasion or investigation depending on how you're going to go about talking with him. So it's more in which way kind of talk to me how you'd talk to him. Give me some indication.
Yes, sir. I'm looking for a place to stay for the night, myself and my companions. Investigation.
Okay. Yep, that's straight up investigation.
Then again, way to be.
Well, there's three places in town I could recommend. I have some decent rooms for 8 silver apiece. They're nothing special. There's a little place up the road you can get little apartments for 2 gold a night, and they have they have rooms. They have like a little private kitchen area if you need. And then there's some really nice suites you can acquire for 4 gold apiece. They have kitchen, living room, dining room, just kind of a small house available for rent for a night.
Uh, how many to a room for the rooms you offer?
For 8 silver, it's 1 per room. Good, they're nice little private rooms. They're nothing immaculate like the other people, but I have standard kind of decent rooms. They have kind of a small sitting area, and then they have your quarters, and they have a small um, relief facilities.
Hmm. Would we be able to cut a deal with some night's entertainment? We are quite accomplished musicians. At least a couple of us are.
If I knew I could get the money back for it, sure. It's just
The discount.
money's a little bit not flowing because we tend to not have a lot of people coming through.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah, with this sandstorm. That's all right. Let's
If
talk.
it was, yeah, if it was before all this lovely stuff, I'd say sure, but I can't really with the way things are right now.
We
Oh,
Hey guys, come talk over here. Um, I this is probably about the best. I mean, we can go and sleep in a hole in the wall if you want, but we have the money to afford this tonight, and we're gonna go on a quest that ought to be very interesting. And we're gonna be spending weeks out in the middle of nowhere in sandstorm and crap. It'd be nice to start with a good night's sleep.
that would probably be good. Yes.
Agreed.
Yanovan?
Yeah, good night's sleep.
All right. I'll go over and we break party. I pay the man 4 gold for.
Do I expect any surprises in my sleep?
You have a private room. You can lock the door, man.
I was just about to say that. Well done.
Inside check on
If you lock your door,
man.
probably not. If you don't,
See, you can really lock doors, right?
Yeah, Mr. Break Lock Picks and Doors. I mean, to be fair,
To be fair, you can
That is
chop
true.
the door down too. But dude,
That's probably not particularly stealthy.
right, but
Fair
inside
enough.
check on the Birdman. Do I think he meant what he said?
I didn't actually say it.
Cleoc.
Shame.
Well, for one, I didn't actually say it. Two, I'm a little bit more wary of you than I am anyone else in the party. You don't detect any like ill will or intent as of this time.
Okay.
Cleoc's conscience was fighting with him earlier while you were currently indisposed. But apparently the more positive side got the better of him.
Good to know.
The statement is that if my character was evil, I would have killed you by now. Was completely out of character.
But the insight was, is his character evil or not? He told us it's not evil, but
He's not.
How do we really know these things? But
Because if he lied to me, his character's dead. That's how.
with a natural 20 plus 2, I know his heart, man. I have this feeling
Yeah.
about
You have a feeling that he tends to wish goodwill towards other creatures, but is also reserved due to his upbringing with them. Is that a pretty good synopsis, Cleoc?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't share with the others.
That works.
Although I did give you a little extra tidbit in saying that I'm a little bit more wary of you than I am of the other party
Yeah.
members.
It's fine.
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting to actually get anything out of that roll, and then it was a nat 20.
Yeah. It's cool.
I know all the things.
So, do you guys want to go bed down for the night?
Slams door locks.
Are all 5 of you having your own rooms?
Yeah.
All right.
Probably gonna go down. Because we have an early start.
What
Assuming
time
he
do
gets
we
there.
meet in the morning, guys?
Where were we going to meet in the
We're
morning,
meeting
by
at
the way?
daybreak.
I totally forgot.
We're meeting at daybreak at the gate, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We ask for if
Wake
there's
up
any assistance at the wake up call. We offer a service like that. Either that or
Rooster.
we might be able. I mean, I know how to wake up before the sun comes up.
If the sun comes up.
Right, we have Sandstorm. That's another bad
Yeah.
point.
And we all have jet lag too, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna need help.
You all think it's, fairly early in the day, but it seems like people are heading towards their abode.
Wait, ask the innkeeper if he could wake us up before dawn so we could meet.
I can do that. More precisely, have that done.
Yes, I appreciate it. All right, guys, to bed.
See you in the morning.
You go to your respective rooms, hungry, not really tired because you've not been up all that long.
Oh, fine.
Apparently, we locked the doors.
I'll go get some food before.
Don't we have some food with us?
I anticipated that dinner would be included in the price of that.
Nope,
date, so-
just room.
Okay.
Damn.
Did you want to purchase meals?
Yeah.
Okay. So, they have a deal where you can get 3 meals a day for 5 silver. Or you can get 1 for 2.
We'll get a. We'll probably just get a meal and go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm good with people.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll do that.
Do you guys sleep and then you hear a rattling on your door? Up!
Damn, that was
Up.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we get ready.
I
And
stealth out of the room.
Who was on the first door? Who chose the first door on the hall to be their room?
choose the first door.
Okay. Cleoc. Not Cleoc. Cookie. Would you say Yonovan?
So if I had a character on the table, I would choose one. I only see 3 characters.
Cookie, roll a perception.
Okay.
That's good enough. You catch the image of this like little hunched over old guy or mutated, twisted kid bending around the corner after scratching on your doors, saying,
Hmm. Okay. Doesn't really bother me. I expect to see something unusual around here.
what do you all do?
I said I stealthed out of my door.
Okay. You stealth out of your door. Looks like you did a 19, so Cookie doesn't see you.
I get up,
I wait
gather
by
Nice.
the
the
front
party,
door.
and head for the gate.
Okay.
Oh,
I get up and goes, well,
I do not stealthily leave my room because I have no reason to do so.
well, I wait by the front door, and when they come out, I join the party.
Did you put your sand clothing on?
I did.
I put my sand clothing on.
Does that affect our armor class at all?
It goes over top of your armor if you have some that you want to wear. It's
I'm
kind of
assuming that
difficult
I'm
to
still
do,
considered
but
unarmored.
yeah. Yeah, it's not really armor. It's more. It's a protective coating that is built to kind of pad from the sand and not let the sand, blast through. It's not really helpful otherwise.
Right.
I would think it would go under armor.
It can. You can do under armor if you want. It can go over or under. Over it's kind of difficult. Under it slides underneath fairly well. He asked if he can keep his armor on doing it, so it made it sound like he was going to try to put it on over top.
In the morning, we would don it on our armor as normal, because we don't sleep in armor.
yeah.
If you did, I need to know.
Yeah. And
Because that's a point of exhaustion for you.
Yeah. We would put on the.
You can sleep in light armor, right?
Not sure.
um,
Possibly.
Not that I have to worry about that, but
Right.
Oh yeah, Macaulay. And when do you recover your spell points? It only lasts 8 hours, not 24.
Does it require Constitution or concentration? Blah.
What?
Give me just one moment. You guys can kind of plot your plan to head out. I will be back in just a moment.
Yeah.
Well, we go to the front
Fair
gate
enough.
and we get to our guide.
Yeah.
go to the front gate and hope our dwarven friend is there.
Well, I
Hope
mean, I
he's
started
not
following.
drunk. First way he was downing them, yeah.
All right. If anyone cares, we have 109 gold pieces left.
Dang, okay.
My sleight of hand carries.
Sleight of hand does not have any of it.
Your perception check agrees with you, but that may be different from the facts. I think you're just bad at counting. My favorite part of the previous quest was stealing from a dragon before he revealed himself.
Before the dragon revealed himself, before you.
Yeah, he showed up as a dwarf NPC to our group.
And so you were stealing from him.
He was a member.
Man.
He said he was a member of the Thieves Guild, and he was just exploring around and gonna be basically find these artifacts, and he had a fence, so he's gonna make money off of this. He was just treasure hunter. We asked if he would introduce us to Thieves Guild, and he's like, I don't think they're your type of people. And so while he was chatting up one of my fellow party members, I went and picked his pocket with a natural 20 to kind of prove the point that no, we were the kind of people you should introduce us. And I was gonna give it back later, but
Yeah.
but I got his full coin purse, and it was a natural 20, and the DM just stared at me, and I didn't know why until like 3 months later that it was a dragon. When he revealed himself, I'm like, shit, I stole from a dragon twice. Because we went running off into the woods for some not harpies, the things that play musical instruments and
The satyrs?
Satyrs?
may have been, but we were drawn to them,
The goatmen or the...
to the magical beast playing music. We heard a tune and we were drawn to it.
Was
So
it in
I
water?
failed my initial check, but they were way far away. But so did he. So he was like running off in front of me. But as soon as I broke, I was within distance with my longbow, and I unleashed and I killed one of them. And then my friends used a sleep spell and knocked out our dragon dwarf instead of the creatures we're supposed to be fighting. So
wait, don't they have huge resistance?
You would
Not if
think
they're
maybe
young.
he was using true form. Yeah, I don't know if he was using a certain polymorph. He might not have. I don't know. But he let him be knocked out. And so while he was, I had already killed one single-handed, and a party of four just like appeared, and I'm like, y'all can take him. So I picked the guy's pocket while he's unconscious on the ground, and he just like stared at me again. I found like a royal green and like papers and note. He was like, I was gonna introduce that later, but I guess you know now. And I mean, we had a forger in our group. I showed him the papers and the ring. I'm like, we can have fun with this later.
Great.
But yeah, 3 to 6 months later, when he revealed himself to be a dragon, I'm like, shit, I stole from a dragon twice. Woohoo!
What, he
And he
doesn't know won't
survived?
kill you?
Right.
Now, believe it or not, most GMs are not looking to kill their players.
Right.
What
right.
color
So
was he?
I picked up the silver or gold.
What color was the dragon?
I think it was a gold dragon. Not. It may have been silver. It's either silver or gold. I don't remember.
Okay, you might have survived from that then.
Yeah.
If it was
But,
a red, you
yeah,
wouldn't have
no,
been
we
able
were
to.
hunting red dragons.
A gold would have been hunting a red.
Yeah.
A gold or silver,
It was
especially
a
the silver
metallic
would have been hunting.
dragon. It was a metallic
Yeah.
dragon. We were hunting a chromatic. But I found the letters of note of royalty and the ring and made sketches and then stuffed them back in his pockets. So I didn't take those, but I knew what he was without him telling us. And I like scattered half of his coin purse in the woods while he was looking for it.
What?
It was great, great times. I took like, all right, so I'll catch you up.
Don't ask.
So the previous group I played D&D with, we were at a cave exploring it, and we ran into an NPC, and it was shown to us as a dwarf, but it was a gold dragon in dwarven form, and he wouldn't introduce us to the Thieves Guild, who he was going to fence this stuff to. And so while he was chatting up to my mates, I rolled a natural 20 to pickpocket him. And so I pickpocketed a dragon and took his full coin purse. And then later in that session, he got knocked out by a sleep spell, and I searched his body instead of killing the other guys, since I already killed one of the two enemies single-handedly, and my party of like 3 or 4 other people had arrived. I was like, they have this. I don't need to do this. And I just want to know what this dwarf is, because he was loaded with money. I got like 300 platinum off of him or something. and I found papers of royalty and a signet ring.
That's one hell of a first. Damn.
But 3 to 6 months later, he was revealed as being a dragon, and I had pickpocketed him twice. It was great.
Okay.
So we went to the gate to meet our guide.
What's your guide's name?
Dumb
Come on,
dwarf
guys.
man.
Cookie speaks for our group.
You mean Cookie's the one of the group who actually remembers?
The one of the group that actually writes it down.
Pretty much. You know, I
That's
always
the
think
best
I'm
way
gonna
to remember.
names, and I don't. And
Okay, well, let's do this. Cookie, you may not speak for the next few moments. It's open ground for the rest. Tell me about this individual you're to meet, the rest of you. We'll see how well people do.
Dwarven ranger.
Who likes getting drunk? But yeah, he's good at this.
He introduced himself as owning the bar, but he doesn't actually own the bar. We would meet him in the morning. Early morning at the gate. I don't remember his name. Even though I almost tripped over him. Or I bumped into him and fell over because, I'm a heavyweight at 90 pounds. As I frantically search for the past video for the actual name of this guy.
It's not up yet. But hey, you did better than everyone else did. You at least seemed to start getting some things.
yeah.
So do the other three of you recall anything?
I mean,
We're getting some.
no, he's a dwarf like me.
I got something really weird going on outside. I'm sorry.
It's alright, worked out perfect.
Weird, dangerous, weird.
Police car. Weird.
John, what did you do?
Leave your shotgun in the house.
Go hide in your storm
Leave the gun
shelter
in the
until he
house.
goes
Oh,
away.
I never bought the shotgun.
Why? Why not?
I thought about it, but I never bought the shotgun.
Hey, what you guys doing?
Alright,
All I have is a knife.
back to topic.
Well, that might shoot you now.
So-
Yeah.
Cleoc successfully remembered some things. So that is good. We'll see how the rest of you do next week when Cookie and Cleoc can't help you.
Dang.
So, Cookie, you lead your band of mentally inept individuals
Hey, it's early in the
who
morning.
can't seem to remember who they met yesterday to the front gate.
Coffee, wake up.
Yesterday was a week ago.
Mhm.
I offer our guide some Irish coffee since he's a dwarf like me.
What is the individual you're seeking, Cookie?
We're looking for a dwarf named Thork.
Alright. You're able to remember him from yesterday, so you're able to locate him fairly easily. And you all set off. He does inform you, hope you all had a good night's rest, and prepared yourselves well. It'll probably be the last time you get to for a decent while. Off we go!
You seem awfully jovial about this expedition.
I made decent pay. I'll be able to, cover some of the needs that I have here and take care of a few others. And a good paydays always makes me happy. And it's only moderately dangerous, no more so than going out and scavenging like I usually do.
So I want to do this out of earshot of the others. But, out of curiosity, Master, how much is your actual normal going rate? We've already paid you, so
You're saying that to Thork?
Yes.
Most people aren't very interested in it, so I had to make something up. So I've said what I felt was a reasonable wage to not spend my time acquiring other devices for the
Never suggested
longevity of our term.
It's like
Yeah, yeah. Cookies.
I call him out on that.
I accepted it. It was reasonable to what I would have been able to acquire, so yes.
Fair enough.
It was an accept of your offer of the quantity. But if it hadn't been a reasonable quantity, I would have declined.
Even
Of
for
course.
a ranger?
What, do you think he's noble? He might be, but not all rangers are noble.
That this isn't second edition where all rangers are good.
Not all rangers are good in second edition. Come on.
Back to the topic.
Thork turns to Rio. I don't think you did, Missy.
Anyway, carry on.
So, survival checks for everyone to see how well you do
We get
in
any
these lovely
bonuses for
conditions.
having the sand cloth?
Yes, you receive no negative, no penalty for attempting to survive on a desolate, barren world.
That's good.
That's
Alright.
a start.
Very much so. Wow, these numbers rolling in are beautiful. 8, 5, 11.
Me. Let's see.
This is the one thing
4.
I'm actually
Mm.
good at.
You cursed our
Four?
table. You cursed our table.
We are dead.
And 12. Okay.
These rolls are
So,
equally improbable.
the three of you... Hold on, Shatter. The three of you
I'm gonna roll my dice in front of
who
you.
rolled below 10 need to roll a constitution check to see how well you're able to shrug off the effects.
Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
I have advantage.
On all Constitution saving throws?
Yeah.
How did you?
I mean, it's either artificer or mountain dwarf.
Oh, it must be Artificer because that's an extremely rare ability.
Well, the first one does better. 15.
Alright. So, what was it? 15? I didn't see the first one. 15, 5, and let me look at the other.
Wow.
14. Okay. Cookie.
Our fearless leader.
Cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Your brilliance and diplomacy guide your group well. However, you're now suffering due to the harsh conditions here and have gained some exhaustion. Congratulations. Day 1 has concluded.
I go up to Cookie, say, "Hey, you doing all right?"
You look like shit.
Who wants to try to help find a good location to set up camp?
Let's see.
So would that be survival or would that be
It's a s-
perception?
It would be survival to first locate an area. Perception could give you an indication of potentially which way to go, but survival would be pinpointing a location, and investigation would be confirming.
Hey, I see a tree over there.
You did perception?
That's a survival check.
Survival. And no, it's dead tree that you see over there.
Okay.
However, you see a dark spot below it that indicates a potential cave. So, who wants to investigate the cave and see if it's safe to provide your shelter?
18, does that do anything for that?
18. Excellent. So,
Investigation.
Talon, you go ahead and go in there and investigate, poke around the area. You find it has been occupied in the past, however, is not currently occupied. So, you're fairly certain this will be a good place. You may all rest safely tonight.
Hey guys, over here. Looks safe, pretty good.
Cool.
Next
Oh,
day.
That's okay. I did that wrong. Sorry.
Oh, what? You did what?
Your one level of exhaustion you gave me would give me disadvantage on ability checks.
Yes, it would. Still good
There we
enough.
go.
The dice tend to be cooperative like that, and if you try to retcon something, it's helpful.
Was it on ability checks or skill checks?
All skill checks are ability checks.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so. Cookie. Let's have you do another con save to see if you shrug off that exhaustion in this uncomfortable situation of rest.
Okay. That's fine, because normally, just a long rest would remove it.
Right. It's very uncomfortable, cramped conditions.
No, that's okay.
So it's basically, if you can figure out a different way for how well you can comfortably sleep, I'm open to suggestions of a different option. Because you're all weary from the trek,
Right.
but you're exceptionally weary, so you need to have good, deep rest.
How deep is the cave?
Does anyone have?
It's
light?
fairly small.
Okay, so I was gonna say, does it go back just enough to find some shelter from all the storm?
Yes. Yes. It's enough to provide you all very cramped sleeping quarters, but you're safe from the hazards of having to worry about being blasted.
I'm tired, but I bed down, and that was my con save.
Congratulations. You are able to sleep this night away and recover. Rio's whining about the sand getting into everywhere.
I try and stretch my wings while I can, not in the wind.
Nope.
Rio, come here.
Not enough space. You'd have to basically choose who you're going to hit to do so.
Are you prestidigitation? Oh, well, actually, no. That would have to be an issue of asking. Rio, we could use
Yes.
prestidigitation, and we could clean the sand out of you. It might come back later. Yeah, you know. Okay, I do.
There you go.
I would suggest not asking this every 5 minutes, though.
Maybe once a day you can have your prestidigitation baths.
This is a fascinating question. Yeah, never mind.
Ask.
It's more of a question of the dice that's not going to actually happen, but.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys are able to press on. And we'll do another survival and con check if needed. But we'll do survival first to see how well you guys are able to maintain your footing and whatnot to ease your travels.
Survival's better than con checks. That's cool.
Looks like Rio did well. Cleoc did well. Cookie did alright.
Go use your own thing.
Yonovan, you're alright. And Talon. Talon How is your survival this fine day?
5.
Alright.
Talon, roll a con save.
Hold on. Ah. Hold on. Where's...
State your intentions first, please.
2d4 and failed save.
Oh yeah, your ability check.
Yeah.
It's not a save.
What do you mean?
It's a
Oh.
check. It's not a save.
This check you failed, but you can do that if you fail your save. So now you got to do a con save.
Yes. And I need to go help out with family thing just quickly. So roll that, and then we'll continue when I get back. And hope you roll well enough that we can fast forward the rest of it.
Let's see.
So I'll ask you guys kind of a perception question here. You know, most abilities don't work well outside of combat because they're designed for combat. So my bardic inspiration, okay? I
Mhm.
require a bonus action in order to give one of you guys the ability to use bardic inspiration.
Right.
But it's not entirely clear how quickly this is going down. You understand? We have this kind of survival check and we have this kind of constitution. It's sort of ongoing the entire trip. But bardic inspiration is very time limited. So I'm kind of feeling that it doesn't apply.
I'd probably say it doesn't apply unless there's some.
Like I
Unless-
could tell you to investigate that tree over there and give you inspiration. But the whole journey I couldn't give you inspiration about. Yeah. Probably right.
That's probably true.
I would say your inspiration. Yeah. Well, I would say your
That'd work.
inspiration probably more applies to finding like the location
Mm-hmm.
for camping, because that's a very specific instance. It's like, oh, it's getting late in the day and we're getting tired. Let's find a spot to camp.
Yeah.
Versus an entire like full day thing, unless Snake gives us a reason to, a very specific reason for this, survival check.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
assuming
I wasn't able to help you, James. So carry on.
Okay. I got a 17 then, so.
I'm assuming that if the 10 actually passes, then you will not burn your special ability there. Because I'm assuming you can choose to add on to it when you fail, and the 10
Yeah.
might not actually fail.
True.
Something I wanted to ask you guys. Look at your cantrips. Does anyone have the mold earth cantrip? I know it's a off chance.
What is cantrip?
It's a
You're
spell
not a
that you.
spellcaster, huh?
I'm very aware what a cantrip is actually.
Not yet.
But I'm a monk who do not get cantrips or spells.
Studying.
That's fine. It's a weird one for anyone to take, but I just thought I'd ask because it would
Frankly.
make it very nice to sleep.
I don't even know what spells I get yet. I haven't looked at it because they're not unlocked yet.
Well, it's when your cat takes you on a trip.
Oh. I don't like those trips.
No, I like your original yelling better. Oh, Ryan, I miss your spelling. Working with Ryan in code. Bad. Dyslexic or something. It was bad.
But hey, we would be better now that we're
Maybe that's
safe.
why he only stays one place for 6 weeks at a time.
Aww.
Ooh.
All right. Where are we?
I got a 10.
Wow.
spell check.
Because if it's bad, he can re-roll another, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what was the 3-4 for?
Not having spell check makes you paranoid.
What was the 3 or 4 for?
In case that Tim actually failed the con save, then he's using his Azamar ability to
Ah,
uh,
a 3 and a
to help
4?
it out.
Or is it just one of
He
those?
gets 2d4.
Bonus 2d4. Okay. Thank goodness for your Asimar self. We don't need to drop the MR.
Okay.
Due to time, luckily your rolls were cooperative enough to where you guys are able to make it to the rest of the days. Now you kind of got the hang of how this goes. You, with some difficulty, managed to get to a large object in the distance. And he's like, we're going to arrive there tomorrow, gentlemen and lady. I hope you're ready for what you asked for, because when we get there, I'm gone.
Wait a second here.
What?
How are we
It's
going
what
to
we-
get back, sir?
It's what we agreed to, that I would not go in there and help you at all.
Okay.
That is not grounds that I will set foot on. You did not pay enough for me to risk myself like that.
Is there
Well,
any
that
way...
is. Go ahead.
Okay, so having traveled this way, is it going to be extremely difficult for us to find our way back? What are we talking about? We're going to probably get off-world transportation anyway. We will have been in contact. Cookie would be calling nightly when we stop to rest the ship,
Yeah.
as we were requested to.
Oh, that's good to know.
Sorry, Nate. You know, I follow
No.
orders.
You did good. I was actually going to have to roll to see if the ship sticks around, if you're here too much longer or not, if you didn't.
Yeah. So honestly, it's okay if this guy leaves because our ship's gonna be able to pick us up.
Cool. If we survive. Woohoo!
I'm very, very happy you remembered that. Thank you.
Okay. I don't even know that I wrote that down.
Well, switching the campaign to this world instead of, the Spelljammer universe would be kind of disappointing.
Why wouldn't the captain come back anyways?
Because if we didn't report in, he'd assume we'd be dead.
Ah.
Not a lot of skin off his back, honestly.
At this point. Yeah.
Anyway, Cookie reports in. We're not all dead.
Indeed. Cookie has been doing amazing well, keeping Gary up to date of your progress and what's going on. If all goes well, you will have found and freed your little Miss Manda on the morrow.
Cool.
So, we will pick up next time as you get to this lovely, huge object in the distance next time, and hopefully we can not be delayed because I'm held up and actually get things rolling a little quicker. Yeah. The punching the things I was hoping to get to tonight, but running a little bit late with the new job and stuff kind of, kind of caused a problem on that.
Cool.
Cleoc, what was the 21 for?
Punching thing.
What?
21 hit.
Yes.
The attack
What are you hitting? You hitting the what? Your shadow? You
I'm
hitting?
absolutely hitting my shadow. Yes.
All right. So the rest of you
I'm
see
practicing.
Cleoc whirl around and slam his hand into his shadow.
Nice.
Sorry, I had dark thoughts about killing a dwarf, so I was just punching my way to the shadow to make sure I stay on the light.
Okay.
Does that work?
All right, gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. Yonovan, what is that?
He's talking about killing me again. Just checking, making sure his heart hasn't changed.
Still completely out of character.
There is only 2 dwarves around, so you can use your imagination as you will. Congratulations. Talon wasted a crit on something. Talon, what did you crit at?
He attacked our dwarf with abandoned.
Laughing?
No, I tried to trip him with my staff.
Trip who?
The monk?
The monk?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Waddly.
that would make contact. So now you would have to do a, let's see, it would be your strength versus his dex.
Strength or dex.
Or,
whatever.
yep.
See.
So I'm making
Cleoc?
acrobatics to not get tripped.
Yeah.
It's an opposed check.
Well, Cleoc, you're tripped. Sorry. What was that for, Rio?
And I look up at what the hell is your name again?
Talon the Asimar.
Talon, what was that for?
Apparently now Rio blasts her shadow with an Eldritch Blast.
Good thing none of this is canon.
I suggest that.
Alright,
we
well,
make something moderately tasty, maybe.
I think you should all eat and take a good night's rest, says Thork. You all desperately are going mad.
Yeah.
Remind me not to ever do any random rolls again, because then I'm going to get asked what it was for, and then whatever I come up with out of character means bad things happen.
No
Hey,
one ever asked what I rolled 5d8s. But that's because I wasn't trying to do it. I was asking a question of the dice. What would happen if I tried to
You-
put someone to sleep?
you actually stated that you were asking a question of the dice, so I assume that that's what that was.
Yeah.
I know you well enough to know you're slightly mad already, so.
Alrighty.
Alright, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. We'll wrap that up for this time, and we'll pick up next time, like I said, hopefully marching through this area and cleaning it out and acquiring your fair maiden.